Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So I posted on my social media accounts that I was not going to be able to go live today, that I wasn't going to be able to do any lives due to dentist appointments and doctor's appointments. But I got back to the house early. Now I have an appointment later, so I won't be able to stay on too awful long. I may be able to do this one and the Ducker one. We'll see. But I really wasn't thinking I would have time to work, that I wouldn't be back in time, and I made posts saying, hey, I'm not going to be able to work. But then I got home in time and I was like, let me cover the Ducker situation. And I sat down, I made plans, I put it all out on my social media accounts. And then I read that Todd and Julie Chrisley were found guilty of fraud. And you guys, this hurts my soul. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm fans of Todd and Julie Chrisley. And I really did not believe, excuse the hair, I really did not believe that they were guilty. Like 100% I didn't. Like I just did not believe they were guilty. So I'm having a hard time with it. But it looks like they were found guilty. It says here, I'll go ahead. Hey, Shayna. Hey. What do you think about the new studio? I think this is your first time seeing it, right? Hey, Dee. I'm going to go ahead and read what I'm looking at. I'm getting this information from WSB TV Channel 2. This is out of Atlanta. And it says here, Channel 2 Action News has learned that reality star Todd Chrisley and his wife, Julie, have been found guilty of fraud. The couple from Chrisley Knows Best has been on trial to face criminal bank fraud and tax evasion charges. A jury found them guilty on all counts. I guess he didn't know best. Yeah, this is final. I mean, I guess they can appeal it. Anything can be appealed. You have so many appeals, from my understanding. I don't know law. I literally took law studies when I was like a junior maybe, but that was scratch the surface of law. We didn't get into lawsuits or anything like that, so I have no idea. I think Uncivil is going to cover this, and maybe Emily Baker will. I don't know. It says the case involved an allegation of $30 million in fraudulent bank loans the government says the Chrisleys took out to fund their lavish lifestyle and extravagant spending, even before becoming famous on the reality TV show. So even before they had, I'm wondering if maybe after they got their show, if they kind of eased up on it. But definitely before the show, they were, according to this, they were creating fraudulent documents. That way they could take out bank loans that normally they would not be able to get. Thank you, Carly with an I. Thank you. Katie's posted about it. Has Katie posted about this? I'm imagining that she is. She's probably relishing in this, right? Which still, it's not okay. My thing is, like, I saw the attacks Katie made on his family, and two wrongs don't make a right. You know what I'm saying? Beside the point. A second part of the case involved tax evasion. The Chrisleys were accused of trying to hide millions made from the show so they wouldn't have to pay a huge tax bill to the IRS. The Chrisleys maintained they did nothing wrong and someone else had control of their finances, which usually that's how celebrities go. Like, usually if you make a lot of money, you have someone else dealing with your finances. You know what I'm saying? That's true. Pig and slaw for sure. So they said that it wasn't them, that it was whoever's over their finances. Federal prosecutors said the Chrisleys' wealth is a lie, and the couple manufactured documents and defrauded area banks out of $30 million in loans, eventually filing bankruptcy and walking away with more than $20 million owed. The U.S. Attorney's Office confirmed to Channel 2 Action News that the Chrisleys have not been remanded to jail. Sentencing will be held at a later date. Oh my goodness. I'm so blown away, you guys. I'm wondering how much time they're looking at. I've always heard, like, oh, they're not rich. They don't have the money that they claim to be. But if they got $30 million in loans, then that's $30 million they had, right? Also, I read about this bankruptcy filing. Todd actually spoke out about this bankruptcy filing, and I guess his story, and he's sticking to it, is that he went into business with a partner for real estate, and he put pretty much all he had. Like he put every bit that he had into this real estate business that he went in with. He partnered with a friend of his, and then it went belly up, and his partner did not like pay his half or whatever. What I heard is that his partner kind of screwed him over, like he was screwed over by his partner, and that's why he had to file bankruptcy, because he put all this money into this real estate company. And did he try to blame his own mother? As far as I know, I don't know. I don't know if he's. I wouldn't think that he would be. Apparently, was intimate with that partner as well. Maybe it was. What happens to Chloe? I'm wondering if Kyle will get her at this point, because Kyle has been doing well for some time. I'm trying to see if I can find anything that's going to tell us what they're looking at as far as time goes. So let me read this one. Reality stars and former Georgia residents Todd and Chrisley were found guilty on all counts of bank fraud, tax evasion by a federal jury Tuesday in downtown Atlanta. I wish they would have had cameras inside this courtroom. I really wish that we could have watched this so we could have kind of formed our own opinion. The jury began deliberating on Friday afternoon and returned the verdict on Tuesday. A sentencing hearing will be set at a later date. They could face up to 30 years in prison. I mean, if they did it, you know, a jury found them guilty, so I have a hard time. I used to be a huge supporter of law enforcement, you know, military. My husband's ex-military, so I used to be a huge supporter, and I'm still a huge supporter of military and law enforcement, the people that do right in positions of power. But due to my circumstances, as most of you guys probably know, I've been experiencing situations that has proved to me that people are crooked. You know, there's crooked police officers, just like everything. There's bad apples in every bunch. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean the whole is bad. I know all police officers are not bad, but I really did not believe they were guilty. Just like their federal case or their state case in Georgia, like they were being sued by the state of Georgia as well, and they won that case. They proved that they did not commit fraud. They did not commit fraud, and they actually proved that a couple of the years that they were being investigated by, that they actually overpaid. So that's true, yeah. So I just was like, if they overpaid in their Georgia state taxes, surely they weren't committing fraud. You know what I'm saying? Like, they overpaid in their state taxes. I think it was like 2 of the years that they were being investigated for. I think it was a total of 4 or 5 years they were being investigated for, and 2 of the years they actually overpaid. So I just thought, no, we're going to come out. It's going to come out that they didn't commit any type of fraud, and they're going to be good. And that's what I was hoping, because we know that, you know, Todd got a lawsuit against Katie right now, and I really want to see that through. I don't know if it'll go anywhere, but I definitely wanted to see it through. Yes, if they can appeal the verdict, and I think they have like 14 days from sentencing date, I believe. I know that's how it was in Josh Duggar's in Josh Duggar's case. So at the sentencing, they was like, you have 14 days to appeal. So I don't know if they have time to appeal, if it starts right now or if it's later. I don't know. You know, I remember hearing Katie say, like, I didn't hear her say, I think she posted something to the effect of like, well, you're going to be in prison, so you can't sue me. And then Ty responded saying, just because someone's in prison, that doesn't take away their right to sue someone. So I don't know. I mean, maybe if he's in prison, he still can sue her. I don't know. So if they're going to, a sentencing hearing will be set at a later date. So Josh was found guilty in December. His sentencing hearing was first scheduled. I think they try to schedule a sentencing like 30 to 45 days after you're found guilty. So in a month and a half, they'll have their sentencing date, which on that day is when I'm assuming they will be taken to jail, which is so just like mind blowing. Can you guys think of like Todd and Julie in jail? Like, I can't even believe it. And then if they're sentenced to anything more than like 10 years, Todd may not get out before his mom passes away, you know? Yeah, that's what he said. He didn't lose his rights to sue just because he was locked up. Heard it's in 3 months from Ben. Let's see. Someone asked, how were you able to be in there? The Josh Duggar sentencing, the hearing, Josh Duggar's hearing, anyone could go. There's a limited amount of seating. So I got there early. We got there at like 5:30 in the morning or something like that. And I was 7th in line. So it says the federal prosecutors who indicted Chrisley Knows Best in 2019 said that Chrisley's deliberately swindled at least $30 million from community banks from 2007 to 2012 by inflating their net worth to get loans, purposely targeting small banks that did less due diligence than larger ones. Todd Chrisley filed for bankruptcy in 2012, erasing a $20 million loan debt. Prosecuting attorney Annalise Peters alleged that they then actively hid millions that they made from the reality show, which began in 2014, as well as $500,000 in taxes Todd owed in 2009. They alleged that the couple actively evaded taxes going back to 2009. Seven Seas Production, a company that the Chrisleys created after the reality show began, was entirely under Julie's name. So the IRS couldn't access income to reduce the $500,000 Todd owed from 2009. Okay, so when they made their production company, it was only in Julie's name. So even though they owed $500,000 from 2009, they could not, I guess, place like a judgment on that company or like a lien on that company or to get the money. Like, hey, you have this company. We know you're making money, so pay this $500,000. It was in Julie's name, which I would think they're married, so they still would be able to do it, but I guess not. The Chrisleys were living in Metro Atlanta during most of the alleged illegal activity, but moved to Nashville in 2016. Bruce H. Morris, an attorney representing Todd Chrisley, said in his opening statement that the Chrisleys were victims of a man named Mark Braddock, who oversaw his company, Chrisley Asset Management, and did all the defrauding. So this Mark Braddock allegedly did all the defrauding without the couple's knowledge until they fired him in 2012. Braddock then went to the U.S. Attorney's Office and received federal immunity in exchange for evidence against the Chrisleys. Wow. It does blow me away. It blows me away that you can commit a crime, and as long as someone committed that crime with you and you can go and rat them out, you will receive full immunity. Like, you can get off scot-free as long as you rat on someone else. The court has spoken, yes. They have a 16-year-old son. They have Chloe. What show are they on? Chrisley Knows Best. Yeah, Jersey Shore Montana was charged with tax fraud for not paying taxes. They pled guilty to only me. I wonder how much he was looking at. I don't remember how much Mike was looking at, how much time he was looking at. If anyone knows how much time Mike the Situation was looking at, let me know. Also, it could be that Todd may end up going to the same prison that Mike the Situation went to, and that prison there is more of like it's like a camping site almost. Like, I looked it up the other day. I looked it up the other day about the facility that Mike was at. They had tennis. They have all these games. They have certain type of food. Like, it's very, my mind's not working right now, but it's very upscale for a prison. What's the sentence? We don't know the sentence right now. Their sentencing will be at a later date, but they're looking at up to 30 years. Yes, upscale. I use Lange marula oil. I use a heat protectant. I'm going to do a get ready with me one day if you guys are interested. I had a few people ask me, and I'll go over like my grooming and everything if you guys want. But let's go ahead and get back to it because, yeah, I do have 500 people here. So, okay, so this Mark Braddock, he oversaw the company. It was the Chrisley's asset management company. And according to Todd and Julie, he's the one that went about all this shady business, defrauding banks, not paying taxes, and such, all of that. It was all of him. It was all of him, according to Todd Chrisley. And they had no idea. They fired him in 2012. But my thing is, if they fired him in 2012, if they figured it out, like if they started digging through paperwork or they hired a new accountant and their new accountant was like, whoa, you guys haven't been paying taxes. This looks shady. Literally, I can spot a Photoshop photo from like a mile away. No lie. I guess it's because I've been editing photos for YouTube that I can kind of spot it. But, when they hired someone else, you would think that they would have been like, okay, listen, this is the deal. Something is not right. And if that would have happened and they would have went forward to the police and said, listen, this is what's going on. We hired this guy. And then he could have just gotten in trouble over the situation and not them. Todd had an affair with a man. I wonder if Julia or the family knew. Well, on Todd Chrisley's podcast, he kept mentioning that people will lie and say they had affairs with you, but you know the truth. There's this one podcast where he mentioned someone alleging that he had an affair with them and that they were lying. He's like, but I got all the proof I need, and it's going to play out in court, and the truth will come out in court. So I think if he did, which it seems like he may have, no, Julie didn't know, and he held his guns to the fact that it didn't happen. Bruce H. Morris, an attorney representing Todd Chrisley, said in his opening statement that the Chrisleys were victims of a man named Mark Braddock. I already read that. Chrisley Knows Best, a comedic look at the lives of the Chrisley family, was an instant hit for the USA Network when it debuted in 2014 and was recently renewed for a 10th season. An spinoff, Growing Up Chrisley, featured two Chrisley kids, Chase and Savannah, living in LA, and was just renewed for a 4th season. So I wonder what's going to become of this. What's going to become of the show? I feel like the fact that they renewed him even after these allegations were lodged against him, even after he was investigated and everything, they renewed the season. It's a hit TV show. I don't feel like they'll take this away from him. You know how most people, when something like this comes about, the network will pull it out from underneath them. They'll fire them. I don't think that's going to happen. However, they're going to have sentencing in within the next 3 months. They're going to be sentenced and they'll probably go to jail. So they're probably not going to have to fire them per se. But I'm wondering what's going to happen with Chase and Savannah growing up Chrisley. In my opinion, as a viewer and as a regular person, I think this would be it would be smart to continue following Chase and Savannah. And now it may be from a different dynamic. It would literally be like following Chase and Savannah as now they're growing up and now they're trying to navigate the fact that their parents just went to jail. Yeah, they're going to go to jail. They're looking at 30 years. I mean, if they don't go to jail, I'm going to be shocked. Let's see. The situation. What was he looking at? I'm going to find out how much time the situation was looking at. Probably going to take me a while to get to there because everything's about him leaving prison. I'm not sure if he is engaged. Yeah, they're looking at 30 years, but I'm not sure what Mike the Situation was looking at. That's kind of what I want to compare it to, because Mike the Situation, he was arrested for similar charges, maybe not as many, but similar. And he spent, what, 18 months in prison? He was sentenced to 2 years. I think he spent 18 months. Um, yes, yeah, Cece, they were found guilty on all counts. And they are looking at 30 years. I'm trying to see if there's any. I keep like refreshing it just to see if there's anything else. Um, that's everything's like an hour ago, 12 minutes ago. This is 12 minutes ago. Oh, this is TMZ, of course. Katie posted. I don't know where Katie. Oh, you said I want to see Katie at home with an ankle monitor. Who is that? I thought you said Katie said that they would have to be at home with ankle monitors. Yes.
Katie.
Sorry. I thought you said that Katie said that they would have to be at home with ankle monitors. I'm like, I don't know where she said that, because I've read like 2 or 3 reports at this time and I'm not seeing that. TMZ, the verdict is in for Todd and Julie Chrisley. The jury says that they're guilty of bank fraud and tax evasion. They were found guilty on a laundry list of charges, according to a court clerk for the Northern District of Georgia. We're told their accountant, Peter Torrentino, was also found guilty on related charges, including aiding and abetting the filing of false tax returns. So not only were they found guilty, but their accountant, Peter, was found guilty as well. As of now, sentencing date hasn't been scheduled. They remain free on bond. Todd's lawyer, Bruce Morris, tells TMZ, "We are disappointed in the verdict and we plan to appeal." There on the show, Chrisley Knows Best. Is Katie Chloe's mom? No, Katie is another YouTuber that the Chrisleys are suing for defamation. I know, right? Josh Duggar got 12.5 years for CSAM. They're looking at 30 years for tax evasion. That's kind of what it is. With all of the appeals that will be filed, I wonder if they will be out until their appeals are heard. I don't know. I'm not seeing anything saying that they're wearing any ankle monitors or anything like that. So I don't know. I don't know where she's getting that. Let's see. TMZ broke the story. The 3 were indicted back in 2019, with prosecutors claiming they defrauded banks by obtaining millions of dollars in loans. The U.S. Attorney's Office also said they cheated the government by actively evading federal income taxes. According to the indictment, Todd worked with a partner to make it look like one of his bank accounts had $4 million in it when they actually didn't even have an account at that bank at the time. The Fed said Todd emailed his partner, "You're a effing genius. Just make it show 4 mil plus." What? The reality stars stuck to their guns, claiming they did nothing wrong, but admitted they knew the charges were coming their way. I don't know where Katie's getting any information that they're wearing ankle monitors. I've read 3 articles at this point and nothing. Mike did commit near the amount of crimes that Chrisley did, and I really do think it was Mike's. I really think it was Mike's accountant. I don't think Mike, the Situation, knew that it was happening, because he just had this money and he was just relying on, I think, his brother to handle the taxes and situation like that. So when he found out, he was like, "What?" But who would take care of Grayson or their granddaughter? So I'm wondering, for the granddaughter, her dad is Kyle. He's doing a lot better. He's got a girlfriend. I think he's even engaged, and he's settled down. He's sober. So I'm wondering if he'll get custody of his daughter back, maybe. Wonder if Nanny will get Temp. They're not in custody. She has her sources, Elle, don't you know? Of course you do. Yes, I know that. Right, Sophie, and I hate to say that, but sure. Exactly. Community service, that's probably it. They say the same for the rest of us. I feel you there. Listen, back the blue until it happens to you. I back the blue as much as I can, but let me tell you guys, I have realized, unfortunately, there are a lot of people that just like to screw you over, even the people that you think are on your team. You know what I'm saying? So it's very hard for me to. Thank you, Raquel. Thank you, thank you. With a 30-year sentence, they likely will not receive the same deal. I don't know what their deal was. They won't have to serve any time. You know, when you're looking at 30 years and you defrauded 30 million, I would think, you know, if it was me and I didn't pay my taxes, or if I defrauded in the 10,000, I'm sure I would go to jail for a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? So I like Todd and Julie, and I don't want to see them go to jail. But if they don't, I'm going to be wondering, what? You know what I'm saying? I like them. I don't want to see them go to jail. They have their kids. But I would definitely be like, what is going on here if they don't go to jail? In federal court, they will get at least 10 to 15 years. And that's going to kind of break my heart. I'm not even going to lie. But what's that saying? You do the crime, you pay the time. They're independent kids. I'm sure Nanny will be fine to watch them. Plus, Chase and Savannah will help. Yeah, Nanny's older. You know what I'm saying? I come from a blue family, and I know for sure there are some crooked cops. Oh, I know there are too. They're independent kids. Savannah may need to step up. That's what I'm really thinking, that Kyle will probably get Chloe, and maybe Savannah will move into her parents' house and be there for Chase. I don't think Chase should be uprooted to move somewhere else. This is already going to be a huge situation for him. This is going to really rock him to his core, being, you know, he has a really close relationship with his parents. All the kids do. Well, I guess except Lindsay. But he has a really close relationship with his parents. And then for them to go away, this is already going to be a big change for him. So I hope whoever gets Grayson or has to watch Grayson will just move into the parents' house. And no crime is a victimless crime. And just stay there with Grayson. Yes, I meant Grayson. I'm sorry. Savannah's house is his old home. Poor Lindsay, she just made peace with them, it seems. I hope she doesn't go running back to KJ. I think Lindsay's learned her lesson. I definitely think Lindsay's learned her lesson. I don't think she's going to run back to KJ. Let me see if there's anything else, because I'm not understanding where the ankle monitors come in. But I'll see if anything else has popped up. Let me see if they've posted anything. Let me see if Todd's made any posts on Instagram or Twitter. They're so rich they'll probably get probation. I would literally be mind blown if they only got probation. What is this? When was this? 3 days ago, he posted, always remember, God is always remember, God is always in control. We got this. God has got us. Savannah said that. Savannah said, we've got this. God has got us. God doesn't give us what we can handle. God helps us handle what we are given, is what he posted. That was 3 days ago. So that was Friday when everybody rests their case and the jury went in for deliberation. Cece, are you not a mod? Okay. I was wondering what's going on. Thank you guys who are complimenting my hair. I really appreciate that. Grayson won't be able to stay at their house. They'll lose their house. I'm pretty sure they're going to have to pay back the millions. Yeah, that's very possible. It's very possible. I do remember that, Sherry. I do remember that. You would have to, you know, this is the way that I look at it. These celebrities, they already, even when Todd and Julie Chrisley, when they came on the scene, they appeared to have money, which I guess maybe they didn't. Maybe it was just from scheming. But once they started making money, why not just do right? I wonder what their taxes look like. I don't know. Apparently, a lot of copy and paste. The fact that they have emails from Todd to this accounting saying you're an effing genius and just make sure it says, 4 million plus. Oh, that's not good. I can tell him to keep an eye out for it. Yes, I'll give a quick rundown. So, Todd and Julie Chrisley were found guilty on all counts in their federal tax evasion trial. The case was arrested Friday. The jury went in to deliberate, and they came back with a verdict of guilty today, about an hour ago. Why did they bring up a relationship with the man in the case? Because the man that said he had the relationship with Todd. I don't know why I said Chris. The man that said he had this relationship with Todd was the man that was their like accountant for several years, and he was the one that, under Todd's instruction, according to him, under Todd's instruction, he defrauded banks. He made documents say certain things so they could get money from banks. They made it look like their net worth was a lot more than what it was. They made it appear like they had bank accounts with money in it that they didn't have. And this was the man that helped them do these things under Todd's instructions, according to what's been said. But Todd fired him in 2012. And when Todd fired him, he went to the police and told the police. And I guess he also told the police that he had this relationship with Todd, which to me, I would be like, so you're a scorned ex-lover? You know what I'm saying? But wonder why sexuality was brought into it. Thanks for explaining it. I missed a lot. Oh, it's okay. I know that Lindsay has been communicating with Todd through their attorneys up until, the last few podcasts that I listened to, weeks ago. Todd said that he and Lindsay were in communication through their attorneys. It's possible at this point they've actually spoken to each other, maybe. I don't know, but I'm gonna think at this point they probably have. So were they sentenced? Are they in custody? They were not sentenced. They're not in custody, but they will be sentenced. I think normally they do a sentencing anywhere from 30 to 45 days. Someone in here earlier said that it could be up to 3 months. So maybe within the next 3 months, surely they will be sentenced. And they're looking at up to 30 years. So I guess we'll see. I bet they'll only get 2 years tops, and then they'll have to do community service. Let's see, how many years was Mike the situation looking at? I looked it up a while ago and then got sidetracked. Does anybody remember how many years Joe and Teresa were looking at? He pled guilty to 1 count of evading taxes. It doesn't say how many years he was looking at. Joe and Teresa was 30 years. And what? They spent like 2 years? What? Didn't they spend like 2 years? She was in less than 6 months. See? So, yeah. Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that she has been spending time with, because when things like this happen, I think you're really like, oh, wow. This is my family at the end of the day, and this is a big deal. So I think she should spend time with her family. So they were looking at 30. She spent, Teresa did 18 months, Joe did 3 years. So they probably will do less than 5. Yeah. Grayson is like, what, 14? She did 18? Okay. That's true. Maybe so, maybe so. I'm going to look more into this, but I have to go ahead and get off, you guys. I have a doctor's appointment I have to get to, but I'll go live tonight and we'll probably talk about Duggar. If you guys are interested, we'll talk about Duggar. Let me know. You guys can follow me on my social media accounts. I have a Facebook, I have a Twitter, Instagram. All of those are linked in the description box below. You can go follow me or just leave a comment on here. I'm gonna go live later, maybe around 8 o'clock tonight. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. If you guys want to, continue this conversation, let me know. If you guys want to talk about the Duggar situation, let me know, and I'll do it according to what you guys want. So just let me know in the comment section below. On your way out, if you don't mind, give this video a huge thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye, everyone.